Tonight, on the record, caught in the crossfire, Dr. Ben Carson finding himself smack dab in the middle of a heated Trump-Cruz feud. Donald Trump calling out Senator Ted Cruz, even going as far as saying that Senator Ted Cruz stole Iowa. And it all comes down to what some are calling dirty political tactics. And now Dr. Ben Carson is swept up in the war of words.
What he did to Ben Carson was a disgrace, that he had quit the race. Everyone knew he didn't quit the race.
Ben did go to Florida instead of New Hampshire or South Carolina.
If they wanted to verify the story, it would have taken seconds to do that.
It is, in fact, something that voters found relevant.
Clearly, somebody was not interested in verifying his story.
He did it on purpose, and then he apologized after all the votes were counted.
It is no surprise that Donald is throwing yet another temper tantrum, or if you like, yet another Trumper tantrum.
I now know why there's not one U.S. senator that's supporting him. He works with these people.
I wake up every day and laugh at the latest thing Donald has tweeted.
I think it was a disgrace that he did it.
We need a commander-in-chief, not a Twitterer-in-chief.
All the rumors of my demise are premature.
I think those votes should be taken away, and there were plenty of them.
If he does nothing about it, then it means he agrees with it.
He really lies. I mean, I don't like to use that term, but he really lies.
2016 GOP presidential candidate Dr. Ben Carson goes on the record from Concord, North Carolina. Good evening, sir.
Hi, Greta.
Dr. Carson, how serious do you think the impact is of that actually is a press release that was emailed out to Ted Cruz people and other people at the caucus about you going to Florida, suggesting that you were leaving the campaign and even saying, please inform any Carson caucus goers of this news and urge them to caucus for Cruz. How much of an impact did that have, do you think?
I think it had a substantial impact. It was gotten out to at least 1,500 sites, and there's even a phone message that Breitbart will be releasing soon. You may have it already. I mean, this is not a minor little incident as they try to make it out to be. And the real issue for me is it's not so much whether it's legal or illegal. The question is it right or is it wrong to take advantage of a situation like that and to confuse and create anxiety amongst voters? I really would never do such a thing, particularly when I had the ability to verify it very quickly.
Well, the voicemail message that you're talking about, we haven't yet verified it, but it purports to be a precinct captain for Senator Ted Cruz, and I can't figure out why Senator Ted Cruz's precinct captain is coming forward with this. So I can't verify it either way.
Right, but whether you have that or not, the fact of the matter is it would be very easy for them to verify that. Our camps are in communication very easily with each other. That could be verified within seconds.
Do you think this was...
So obviously there was an interest in taking advantage of the situation.
Do you think this was deliberate and dirty politics, or is this just gross incompetence, or what?
No, this was absolutely deliberate. I have no question about that. The real question is anything going to be done about it? Or is it just politics as usual? See, I believe one of the real problems facing our nation right now is that we just say, yeah, that's just the way people do things. It's okay. That's how we've gotten into this situation where nobody trusts the government anymore. Where is the truth and the honesty and the integrity? Why don't we hold people to a higher standard? If we hold them to low standards, that's what we're going to get.
What can we do at this point? Because, I mean, I agree with you that this is, this is a terrible thing that happened, even if it was done accidentally, because it does have consequences. People were caucusing, and if they're told, if your caucus goers are told you're out and not to caucus for you, caucus for Cruz, that has, that has a terrible impact on the outcome. But so what can we, is there a way to sort of fix this? Do we have to, do you want to invalidate that caucus? What can we do to fix this?
Well, I think what I would do, if it were me, is I would come out publicly with my senior people after having conducted an investigation to find out who was responsible for this and apologize and make adjustments in my campaign staff. Anybody who's doing something like that, which is that level of deceit, is not something that I would want representing my campaign. It's one of the reasons when I did a deep dive in my campaign and I found things that were wrong, I made changes, recognizing that people would be criticizing and saying everything is wrong. But the fact of the matter is you have to be willing to make the changes.
Well, I guess it's even compounded by the fact that a U.S. Congressman, Steve King, retweeted, and his tweet was, "Carson looks like he's out. Iowans need to know before they vote. Most will go to Cruz, I hope." So, I mean, it's like it became sort of a cancer on the whole caucus process in very short order.
Yeah, I talked to Congressman King, and you know, he said that on the basis of information that he had received. He obviously regrets having done that. But you know, somebody was obviously extraordinarily anxious to get this out and to get it out everywhere very, very quickly. You know, my wife was at a caucus, and they had spoken just before she came in there and said that Carson was out. He was dropping his campaign. She wasn't supposed to speak, but they allowed her to speak anyway, to the great delight of the audience. And, you know, we actually won that district.
Have you spoken directly with Senator Ted Cruz? Has he called you and had a conversation with you about this?
I have spoken with him. He indicated that, you know, he was unaware of some of the tactics that were being used and that he didn't agree with them. But I haven't seen any consequences. So to me, that's the proof. The proof is that you actually do something about it, because, you know, one of the things that I think has disturbed a lot of people is that we look at some of the things that have happened in our government, some of the various scandals and things, and they come out and they say, yeah, that's this horrible thing. I wish that hadn't happened. But there's no consequences. And, you know, that just, to me, doesn't seem to be the right thing to do.
What does that tell you about, what does it make you think about Senator Ted Cruz at this point?
Well, I'm still waiting to see whether he's going to do something about it or not. If he does nothing about it, then it means that he condones it. And if he condones this, what else will he condone? So let's hope that's not going to be the case.
Well, it certainly is, you know, very unfortunate that this happened. If it's deliberate, that's really terrible. If it's, you know, that's dirty politics. If it's accidental, it still has consequences. And unfortunately, you know, I don't know how you put the toothpaste back in the tube on this, because this happened right in the middle of the caucus, that they're told you're out, and certainly that message went out. And
there are those who say, well, what difference would it have made anyway? It makes a huge amount of difference when it comes to integrity. And the fact of the matter is, you know, my internal intelligence and intelligence from other places had told me that we were going to do much better than we did that night. So I do think it had an effect.
Did you tell Senator Ted Cruz, fire the people that did this?
I have talked to him. I haven't told him who I think should be fired. I think that's something that should be left up to him.
Dr. Carson, thank you very much for joining us.
Unless he has a better solution. Okay. Thanks, Greta. I appreciate it.
And I hope that things are a little bit better in terms of the process in New Hampshire for you, sir.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. That's how we like it. Thank you.
All righty.